Yeah, and I think Barry said it there. It's the way he's looked in his last couple of performances. He's not struggled at all. He's looked devastating, if I'm honest. He's looked like he belongs on the world stage, and that dictates for me when you should move up, when you're proving how good you are every time you get in the ring.
And Zepeda, who he beat so impressively, has come back with a win against Ivan Redkach. So that form is starting to look very, very solid.
And again, it wasn't over that he beat Zepeda, because Zepeda, you know, has had a long, hard career, you know, and there's always a chance that, you know, he might not be able to live with the energy of a younger guy, but the way he beat him and stopping Zepeda, let's be honest, no one, stopping Zepeda like that with a body shot of all shots, perfectly timed, just showed that he's world class, that he has world class vision to go with the ability. Because it's okay having good boxing ability, a good brain, a power, but you've got to have it all. To be at the highest level, you've got to have a little bit of everything, if not all of it. And Dalton Smith's showing us, fight by fight, that he might have a little bit or a lot of everything that he takes and you need to become a world champion.
Family so important to Dalton Smith, dad and granddad in the photo there at ringside during the celebrations. That win against Zepeda, so impressive last time out, and here also against Ouizza. From the very first punch he threw, he staggered Ouizza and got the respect of the Frenchman and went on to score a win in the dying seconds of the opening round. Let's get his thoughts now. He's up there with Jamie.
Well, Dalton Smith, congratulations. You said after 10 months out you wanted to send a reminder to the 140-pound division exactly who Dalton Smith is. Do you feel he did that tonight?
Do you know what? You know I'm not one to say much, and it was a frustrating back end of the year. And tonight I knew I'd come in here and I'd perform, because there was a lot of built-up frustration, and that momentum I wanted to keep going. I knew I'd pick it up tonight because I'm hungrier than ever.
We saw that built-up frustration coming out of you from the opening bell, but you were measured, you were precise. It was almost an arrogance. That's how Mike Costello described it from ringside, to get the job done in that fashion. Talk us through what we did see in the fight and the finish as well.
Yeah, obviously I prepared for 12 rounds. You know, Walid Ouizza, no one's ever done that. He's never been stopped. You know, beat some good opposition, former European champion. You know, to come out and do that after 10 months out, I'm only going to get better. But, you know, my well wishes go to Walid Ouizza first. Hope he's all right. You know, he's been respectful as they come all week, and I love a fighter when they're like that. You know, it shows what type of person they are as a man. You know, so I want to, you know, say a big thank you for Walid for being a part of this week, and just for being a good person.
And they called you the belt collector. You have that European title around your waist now. It's a belt you've wanted for a long time. How does it feel to finally have won it?
Feels good. I've said I want to chip away, get the domestic titles. It never goes to plan as quick as you want it to, but look, that's why we have to stay switched on, keep training hard. I've got the best team around me. You know, my teammates here, my corner. You know, I've got the best team, and, you know, I just work hard. You know, nobody's going to blow smoke up my arse in the gym. You know, they tell me as it is, and like tonight, I've probably got praise off my dad. I never get that in camp, so when I perform, I know I'm going to get praise off him. And, you know, Piers Gudgeon, who's the other coach in the gym, you know, I wouldn't be the fighter I am without those. You know, so a big thank you to the whole team.
There are levels to this game. Dalton, you showed in this ring tonight you're a level above the opponent like Walid Ouizza. Is Dalton Smith ready to be let off of the leash now onto the world stage?
I said before I was at the WBC convention and that, just staying relevant. See how this belt's silver? I want to turn that gold, and I'm hoping Mauricio's watching tonight. I'm sure he was, and I hope I made him proud, because the next fight I want to turn this silver into a gold.
We know Puello and Martin contest the full title, of course, the WBC belt in March. A little scouting trip, perhaps to Brooklyn for Dalton Smith?
Look, I'm ranked number 2 at the minute with the WBC. You know, I want to have a busy year, so shout out to Mauricio. I soon want to be a part of the WBC family with a world title.
Now, Dalton, you've said you want a big fight in the interim, of course, when you perhaps wait for that shot. Give us some names. Dalton, this is your moment. It's a stacked division. You've got a queue of fighters you could pick. Who do you want to fight? What names tickle your fancy?
All you've got to say is the 140-pound division, the names you've got. The likes of Devin Haney's, you know, the names go on. The list is massive. So, look, whatever route I'm going down, what my team says, you know, I listen to those, I'll fight whoever. But my main aim is to get a WBC world champion. And that's the winner of Puello and Sandor Martin.
One fight that's often been talked about for yourself, Dalton, is Regis Prograis. We know he's got a fight coming up. Why is that a fight you think would make sense in Sheffield?
Of course, it's a big fight. Obviously, he's still a great fighter. Obviously, he's just got his other fight. But, you know, Regis is one hell of a fighter. So, yeah, look, there's a lot of big fights for me to go down, but my main aim is I want a WBC world title.
Was it quite fitting for you, Dalton, to become European champion here in Nottingham, of course, where the professional journey began for you back in 2019?
First of all, I want a big shout out to everyone who's come here this, you know, headlining in Nottingham. We didn't know how it was going to go straight after Christmas, so a big thank you to everyone who stayed, supported, and, you know, continue on in this journey with me. So, but, you know, next fight, hopefully it's back in Sheffield. Big shout out to Dalton Smith Tickets, Big Bright Brown down there. You know, he's the man. So, I love you all.
Well, let's bring in the man behind the scenes who can make it all happen. Frank Smith, firstly, your verdict on Dalton Smith's performance tonight.
Unbelievable, you know, he showed the levels he's at. He's had 9 months out the ring, you know, he's had delays with injury, but to get back in there, deliver a performance like that, the dream has always been to go and collect all the belts. Now it's all about going and winning a world title, which this man can go and do. He's number 2, as he said, with the WBC, and that's the job we've got to go and do next.
If there is a big name, a big fight to make in the interim when he waits for a potential shot, give us some names that we could see Dalton Smith in with next.
Dalton's not the kind of person who's going to call him out. I said it before in the build-up. You know, when Liam Parrow was world champion, he was saying, I'll fight him. When they were talking about Devin Haney's opponents, he was saying, I'll fight him. There's so many big fights out there to be made in the 140 division. So much activity at the minute. You know, Jack Catterall fights Arnold Barboza, Feb 15th. As you say, the WBC title. Alberto Puello against Sandor Martin, March 1st. Devin Haney's out there, Teofimo Lopez. There's so many fights to be made. The key is this man here will fight any of them. I
want to say as well, obviously everyone says like a fight with me and Jack Catterall and stuff, but I always give Jack Catterall his credit. He deserves a world title, so I think everyone should be behind him, supporting him in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. And Dalton, how much of your self-belief that you're ready for these big names comes from doing everything the traditional way, step by step? You've been progressively stepped up, and it just feels like now is the time.
Look, if I turn up and prepare well like I always do, as long as I turn up and do as I'm meant to do in a ring, I'm confident I can beat anybody.
Well, let's bring in Grant. Can we grab a quick word with you? Grant is here, father and trainer, of course. Grant, the big names, that's what Dalton wants now. What did you make, though, of him tonight picking up that European title in real style? Was that always the plan?
That was his plan, to come all the way through and do all this anyway. But we'd worked on certain shots. Top fighters adapt in camp to styles. They don't just fight the same way. And this camp, we've adjusted certain things and he's done it. We worked on certain shots that landed today and what were finishers. So
I think
we can only show him things to do. He's the one that does it, so we're so proud.
If I remember, if there's a camera, you'll see I was in the corner there. After the first knockdown, my dad went over, dip, feint to the body, left hook to the head, and I think that was the shot what ended it. So.
Yeah.
What is it, Grant, about Dalton's? Obviously, we see what he's about in the ring, but what about his attitude? What about his attitude makes you believe he can go all the way in this sport?
It's not about whether I can believe it. I know it. Everybody here knows it. Matchroom know it. Eddie, Frank, they know it. They won't be with him. They won't be backing him like they're doing. But he's showing the business in here. He turns up. He does his job. He sells places art, and he's going to be boxing for WBC title next.
Dalton, do you have a little message for those who made the trip here to Nottingham? What do you want to leave on tonight?
Well, we're a Sheffield double today, so we're all Wednesday, aren't we?
And just finally, live on DAZN to the world, a message to the 140-pound division, because the world awaits for you now, Dalton Smith.
The message, I just left it in the ring.
Okay, don't mind that at all. Dalton Smith, congratulations, new European champion.